Hi everyone, it's Jordan again, and before we begin with our message, I have a quick little programming note for all of you vlog listeners. I'm very excited to report this, by the way. So up until this point, I've been using the YouTube account of Tracy R, because that's my mom's account. And honestly, when I started these vlogs, I had no idea that God was going to take them and grow them in the way that He has. It's just completely amazed me with what He's done with them. So now that we've done 150 vlogs and I'm starting to get more and more new people watching, new subscribers, which thank you guys so much, by the way. I'm very grateful for that. I am getting my own YouTube channel. Yay! So here is what we need to do about that. If you're subscribed to @Tracy R, then all you need to do is go and subscribe to my new channel, which is Through Jordan's Eyes. That's THROUGHJORDANSEYES. Through Jordan's Eyes is my new YouTube channel. In just a couple of weeks, I will be transitioning and then posting vlogs solely to that channel. So if you're subscribed to Tracy R, then please go subscribe to Through Jordan's Eyes. I will put the link to subscribe and the channel name below in the description. So if you're subscribed to my channel currently, just go ahead and subscribe to that other one. If you're not, then completely disregard this message. It is not for you. Okay, now on to the message for today. The first thing I'm going to do is share a gift that I got that was sent to me by a good friend. And then I'm going to tell you the story around when I got it. And then we'll do some Bible verses at the end. So this gift that was sent to me by a friend said, when it's not in God's time, you can't force it. When it is in God's time, you can't stop it. I'm going to read that again. When it's not in God's time, you can't force it. When it is in God's time, you can't stop it. Isn't that powerful? That really struck me, and I want to tell you the story around where I got it, just because it's kind of a smaller little story, but it was kind of a way of God really bringing home that point to me. So I graduated from high school in 2020. I was homeschooled because obviously with my health, I couldn't have gone to a public school at all. So I was homeschooled all the way through high school using the Abeka curriculum. Now that's based in Pensacola, Florida. And so in 2020, when I graduated, my family and I really wanted to, and actually had all the plans worked out, to go to Pensacola, Florida for an official Abeka graduation ceremony. And it was going to be wonderful. We had it all planned out. And then, do you know what else happened in 2020? Little tiny thing called COVID. So obviously the trip got canceled. I know everyone's plans got canceled during that time. My graduation was still fantastic in other ways, but we didn't get to go and do the Abeka graduation ceremony. So fast forward 4 years, 2024 now, and we're finally thinking that we're able to start going on a trip or two again. Still being very careful of my health, of course. That'll always be the case. But we thought we still have all the information for Pensacola. Let's go there. We weren't planning on doing any graduation. That had long since passed, but we just wanted to go see the Pensacola beach and drive around the Pensacola Abeka graduation area, even though we thought there's no graduation. We're just driving around to see the college, to see the school, to see the sights. That's it, right? Well, we pull in, and the first thing that the guard says is, "Are you here for graduation?" Now, that's a strange question. Kind of in a way, but really no. What are you talking about? Turns out we were there on the exact day of the 2024 Abeka graduation. Isn't that amazing? Now, I know that that's kind of a smaller story, but to me it still speaks to God's timing, because we got to go through and we got to see all of these Abeka signs, all these graduation signs, all these Abeka students that were graduating that year, and it was just so amazing and so special to us to get to see 4 years later in a different way than we had planned, but to still see that dream kind of come true in a way. It was really cool to us, and we all, later on we're talking, we all felt so deeply like God's hand was in the middle of that. Now, on the way home, I got that text from that friend about God's timing. And I thought, yeah, that's exactly what God was trying to show me through that. And I have no idea why the 2021 didn't work out. I have no idea why the 2024 one, why this was the time and that wasn't. But I could tell 2020 was not God's time. 2024 was God's time, and we couldn't stop it, and we just sat back and were amazed. We just sat back and watched God work. And yes, I understand that that's a little bit of a smaller story on a smaller scale, but still a very important reminder to me of God's amazing timing. And it's not just for little things like that, little dreams, or whatever. It's for everything. And God's been showing it to me with other areas as well. And I feel like he has really been teaching that to me with my health, trying to do certain things with my health and realizing this is not in God's time. This is not God's will. So I'm not going to force it. And then other things that just go so smoothly. And I think, yeah, God, you led me this direction. I've seen that. I've seen both of them very, very, very clearly in my life. And it's always so much better to wait on God's timing. Because when it is God's timing, we can't stop it. We just sit back and marvel. When it is not God's timing, we can't force it. Or I should say we shouldn't force it. Because as humans, we still try to force it sometimes, right? We still want our agenda. We still want our time. We don't see anything wrong with our time. So we still try to force it. But maybe it should say, when it's not God's timing, you shouldn't force it. When it is God's timing, you can't stop it. So I want to end with some Bible verses. If you're in a season of waiting, I am sorry. Because in any area of your life, waiting seasons are so hard. And I know a number of friends who are in that hard season right now of just waiting, wondering what God is doing. I want to guarantee you that God is working, even though you can't see it. God is working, and God still has a plan, and I can't tell you what it's going to be or what the ending is going to look like. I can just guarantee you that he is faithful even in the waiting, and that he is still working, and he still sees you. Couple of verses, Psalm 27:14, about things that God calls us to do during the waiting. So Psalm 27:14, wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart, and wait for the Lord. He says be strong and take heart because he knows that this is hard. He knows that this is against our nature. If it weren't, he'd just say, wait. Just wait. It'll be easy. Just wait. He says, no, you got to be strong. You got to take heart. You got to put all your faith in me because waiting is going to be really, really hard, but I'm still calling you to do it because in the end, my plan is going to be better. Psalm 37:7, rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. He doesn't call us just to wait on our own. He says, you can rest in me while you're waiting. I'm right here. You can be in my arms this entire time. Acts 1:7 tells us very, very clearly how God feels about his timing versus ours. It is not for you, meaning us. It is not for you to know the times or the dates the Father has set by his own authority. See, God has everything figured out. All the times and dates, all the things that are going to happen, all the things that aren't going to happen in our lives. And what he calls us to do with those is just to wait. We don't get to see them. We don't know them. Some of them we might not ever understand until we get to heaven. Some of them God might give us the gift of seeing at just a later date. Like my Abeka thing, just to encourage me, or maybe like something even bigger. But God has all of these things in his hands. And what he calls us to do with them is to trust that. Trust that he has everything under control. Trust that he knows the perfect days and times, and then trust that he's going to be with us in that waiting season. And then eventually we're going to look back and say, oh God, I'm so glad that you waited. I'm so glad that you did what you did, because I can see now why you did it that way. And even if I can't see this side of heaven, I know that there's a reason for why you're doing it that way, and I'm going to believe it. I'll end with the quote one more time. When it's not in God's time, you cannot force it. When it is in God's time, you cannot stop it. God is good all the time. Love you guys.